What's up? Black men need to educate themselves on entrepreneurship. Now, if there's any black men out there and you're trying to self improve and gain a grounded identity in being a black man through learning black history, learning who we look up to in black history, eating healthier, becoming more financially literate, and also coming together, learning to come together with other black men to help the black community rise and see all of us get to the finish line together. If you're interested in that, and it's just overall self improvement and having that grounded identity and confidence of being a black man. If you're interested in increasing yourself in those ways, the link for that will be in the comments of this video, the description of this video. And if you click on my channel in the bio section, you'll see the link for that. So click on that, check that out. Now, as I get older, I start to understand money more and more. And when you come and have a better understanding of money, you start to see that there are more efficient and effective ways of making money. Now, I don't want to propose this idea that, okay, so like you don't have to work for anything, right? But I am putting out there that you have been taught that it's always been about just get up and go to work or go to college, and that's the only route. And I know nowadays there's a lot of kids that want to make money from YouTube. They want to, be a streamer, or they want to be an influencer. Uh, and I understand that, man, because hey, I'm making videos right now, but I think we have to dive deeper into like sales and not just being famous, but if you really want to have a lifestyle where your money isn't tied to how much time you put into something, it's more what you created. That is the true power, and that's the true thing you have to understand. Creating value, having a skill you can be compensated for. There's people in my life that I've seen that have good skill with things, and they will never have to go and get a regular job, right? And I really want black men to educate themselves on that, and I'm educating myself on that, and I've made a little bit of success as far as making money through sales and stuff like that. But I just really think that a lot more black men wouldn't doubt themselves when it came to how much money they can make, what career they can go down. We have to get our minds outside of this traditional, I'm just going to, go to college, or I'm just going to get a job and that's it. Now it's honor and it's pride and it's dignity and it's respect when you can just get up, go to work, take care of yourself. And that's something you can always respect. But I think when we start to look into ownership and the person who's running and creating everything, those are usually the business owners, the people who created something. It was never the man who worked for somebody for this many years, and he's like obviously you can be super successful working under somebody, but you're capped off to a degree because you're under somebody, right? And I think that with black men, we have to step into being more of a creator, being more of a owner, being more of the person who sets the pace of how things are gonna go with businesses, or we just need more black um businesses created and black owned, especially among black men, because we do have a lot of creativity within our community, but there's just so many times that we're stopped from being able to create, right? And we're bound to just, oh, get up and go to work for this man over here. Get up and go to work for that man over there. I'm not telling you not to work for a white man, not to work for this man. If you don't have any money, get a job, And I think that's always going to be a respectable thing. Um, and even in my life, man, I've struggled with like keeping jobs and stuff just because of my emotions. And I would feel like, okay, I'm not going to be this and I'm not going to do this because I want to do this. You have to keep your mind regulated in a way where you're not losing yourself to your job, right? Because that's the whole thing that I'm really trying to point out. You want to be a creator. You want to work for something that actually has a meaning to you, right? And I think that's the two things we have to focus on when it comes to being satisfied with how we make a living. We want to do something in life that actually means something, or we want to create something that means something. And those are the two lanes I want black men to go down more. And I remember I was just looking on Facebook, man, and I've seen this dude I used to go to school with, and it's always gonna be a respectable thing when you put in work, no matter if it's at no matter if it's at your job, no matter if you go to college. And so, give that respect to, like, understand that's a respectable thing. Hard work, regardless of where you at, it's always gonna be a respectable thing. And that's something that I'm learning myself. Like, when you see somebody who put hard work in, it didn't happen yesterday, it didn't happen last night. That took years and years and years of dedication towards something. Yeah, I seen a dude on my Facebook, and he had, like, you know what I'm saying? He's around my age, but he had like a bachelor's degree, and he was going for his master's degree. And I seen that, and I was like, you get what I'm saying? You can never hate somebody who worked hard for something, right? And so that just made me understand, like, put in work, right? But put in work towards the things that will actually give you a return on investment and make you really satisfied as a person. And I think in my life, there's so many times where I wouldn't be myself, and there's so many times where I didn't believe in myself, and my environment was telling me to do the easier route, take the least amount of risk. And so we have to get away from that doubt in ourselves. We have to get away from people saying we can't do that. The best we can do is just get a job. Get away from people who will try to validate you not using your brain, try to validate you not doing something meaningful, try to validate you not being a creator. Because the black man is a creator. And if you're a black man, if you're a creator, the best job for you would be entrepreneurship, where you create value. And at the least, you can be a man that actually works for something that means something to you. You can have a skill that you actually help somebody with that means something to you. Never be this person that's doing something meaningless, because you only have one life, right? And when a black man is here on earth, when the black men who are watching this video, you're meant to do something big. You're meant to create something. Even if you never become famous or super rich, your life has value in the people you impact, the people you're around. You as a person, you matter. And it's important for us to not be a slave to lust, not to be a slave to our carnal desires, not to be a slave to another man, but work for ourselves, be a creator, and do something with meaning. That's always going to be the most important thing when it comes to having a quality life. And so as I get older, I understand that, and that's what helps me, go even deeper with educating myself, with being an entrepreneur, creating value, all these type of things. And I think in the future I'll create something where I'll dive deeper into, being an entrepreneur and everything like that. But I would just say, because I'm not a guru, I don't know everything, but go out there and put effort into, whatever you want to do, whether that's being an entrepreneur, a doctor, a lawyer, anything. That's pretty much all I gotta say. Peace out.